All right, I'm the flatratemaster, and well, do you work for a bad or poor shop? Tune in Wednesday, we'll talk about good shops. But today we're talking about, well, less than ideal shops. Now, of course, obviously, if you have questions about ethics or stuff like that, if you're questioning ethics, they probably work for a bad shop. I just want to point that out first and foremost. Now, pay is subjective, and maybe many factors, out of touch shop owner that doesn't really realize what the market pays. So we're not really going to touch on that kind of stuff. Pay is not appropriate for what you do. Look for a new job. Simple as that. Let's talk about some other things. Favoritism in ticket assignment is really a problem when it comes to commission-based technician staff, whether it's hourly with commission or flat rate. Now, recently there was a post by a technician who was complaining about favoritism in the shop he was working in. And a shop owner literally confirmed he's favoring his two top guys who are, better than everybody else in every way conceivable. So he loads them up first, and then whatever's left gets divvied out to the rest of the guys. And I have a huge problem with that. One, if your other guys are that poor, probably need to replace them because they're not going to get better if you're starving them out. Now, I don't know the pay situation in his shop, but I assume he has some sort of commission-based pay system, whether it's flat rate or hourly with commission. I don't know for sure. But that kind of stuff bugs me. It shouldn't be about making sure your top guys are just taken care of and, screw the rest and, they get the leftovers. It should be a much more even distribution of tickets. Now, obviously, you're not going to assign a communication fault to a GS, but on the other side of it, you shouldn't be assigning all the gravy work to those top technicians. Oh, this one's got, 15 flushes they want. Give that to the top guy. It should be, that kind of work should be rotated around. If you get a ticket in that, oh, this is probably going to be some gravy work. He's having a rough week. Let's give it to him. That's how I assigned tickets when I did it. Now, when I was signing tickets back in the day, I looked at availability, history, and obviously ability. Obviously, I'm not giving a communication fault to a technician that can't diagnose that kind of ticket. I'm obviously going to put that towards a technician that could handle that. For instance, let's be honest, a Tahoe comes in with a AC in-op. It's probably going to be a condenser, gravy work. You assign that to the guy that's maybe having a little rougher week, not just your top guy to give him extra hours. And favoritism can also be difficult to see in a shop, especially when you're very close to the situation. But it happens, and it happens a lot. And it's a huge problem in our industry that I think should be eradicated. My little mini rant on favoritism, kind of move on. Let's talk inequality in punishment. Now, this happens a lot with poor managers, and that's strictly what it comes down to. Their golden boy is late every day of the week, never says anything to them. You're 5 minutes late, and you're in the office getting yelled at. That's probably a sign of a bad shop. If he's letting some people get away with stuff and not letting other people get away with it, rules like that need to be applied universally. Unfortunately, that is a sign of poor management and, well, bad shop. Because if they're letting certain people do bad things and not other people, it's just not good. Regardless of what the situation is, everybody should be treated the same on being late, etc. Now, here's one that I know I'm going to get some controversy over, and that is asking or telling you to work late. No shop should ever tell you to work late or you have to work late. Sorry, I hate to tell you this. People have lives. People need to have time off from this industry to recuperate. It's hard on our bodies. If your management is telling you you have to stay late or they're pressuring you to stay late, you work at a bad shop. Poor planning on their part should not equal an emergency on your part. It's plain and simple. Now, if you're wanting to stay late, that is on you 100%. If you're like, I'm flat rate or I'm hourly with commission and I want to stay late to knock this job out, so I've got, I can do some more tomorrow, that's up to you. I don't question that at all, but when management pressures a technician to stay late, regardless of their pay system, even with a hourly technician that's making overtime, it shouldn't be a thing. If they're pressuring people constantly to stay late to get that car out, it's a glaring problem that they can't see their scheduling issue. They're so worried about putting as many cars through the shop as they can, they're just going to burn you out. Now, again, if you want to stay late, stay late. I don't care. It's up to you. Lack of appreciation. Now, this one is harder to quantify in a video, but, I've done a video about pizza parties and, I'm a meme now in certain groups about that. But the fact of the matter is throwing a pizza party or throwing a couple steaks on the Barbie every couple of weeks isn't showing you appreciation. It's kind of, I don't want my crew on Friday to leave, so let's feed them so they stay here and continue working, hopefully. The fact of the matter is when it comes to appreciation, you feel it when you're appreciated. And you feel it when it's fake. And it can't be faked by most people. If you feel like you're a number in the cog, probably are, honestly. When it comes down to it, if you feel that way, it's probably valid. And honestly, some of that might be you not feeling appreciated because they're not doing certain things that you like or want, but you need to talk to them about that. But if you've told them that kind of stuff and they don't give you that feedback that you want as far as a technician, probably working at a bad shop. Now, equipment's a big thing. If you don't have the proper tools, proper equipment, obviously you don't work at a good shop. If everything's broken, if everything doesn't work right, if all those factors, yeah, you work at a crappy shop. Now, the big one is obviously if the staff is a revolving door, you're constantly hiring technicians, hiring service writers. Yeah, you probably don't work at a good shop, plain and simple. You hire a technician, it doesn't work out, and they let them go. That's not so much of a red flag. But if you have a constant flow of new technicians that don't work out, either they've got a hiring problem or they have a management problem, plain and simple. Now, obviously, if there's a very stable workforce, might not be too bad working there. So, hope you found this video helpful. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.